episode number 9, and we left off where the Major was going to take the kite back to the child. I would very much like to take this back to the child. Of course, my friend. Thank you so much. Will you be able to come on Wednesday afternoon? Our family are coming home Friday, but I may well have something to tell you by then. Right you are. Oh, may someone please tell Dulcie I'll be home this evening. We will, said the mighty tree, we will. Now let me see that paper, Timmy, could you? Lay it down for me, please. Yes, of course. The mighty tree read, Success of Blackpool's major attraction grows and grows. In 3 years' time, this now famous attraction will celebrate its huge success from such humble beginnings. In 1904, the first ride arrived. It was called Hiram Maxim Captive Flying Machine. Then in 1905, the first water ride arrived, called River Caves of the World. The council have assured us that they plan to mark this birthday in a special way. Blackpool can expect street parties, carnivals, and much, much more. This was it. This is splendid. Just what we needed. Now, my boys, it's your time for your mission. Jump up the fence. I want to show you something. They both leapt up the fence. Look out the fair, my boys. Now you see the man working on the bumper cars. Which one? Said Timmy. Oh, yes, I see. Boys, not the young lads walking around the cars. Why? Why what, Timmy? Why are they walking around the cars? Oh, said the mighty tree patiently. They give the cars a push if they get stuck. All right? Yes. So do you mean the man sat in the box on the bumper cars? Yes, Timmy. He's got funny hair, said Snubs. That hairstyle is called a quiff. He is a teddy boy. What's a teddy boy? Said Timmy. Teddy boy is a name for a fashion style. The way he wears his hair, his long sideburns, his clothes and style of dressing means he is a teddy boy. Oh, look, said Timmy, that man buying 2 sticks of candy floss. Is he a teddy boy then? Yes. Oh, look, there's 2 on those swings. The 2 squirrels were very pleased with themselves. Well done, you have it, boys. Now, the boy in the box. Teddy boy, said Snubs. He is the boss's son. Now at 6 o'clock his father takes over from him. His father is... The tree looks around the fair. He cannot see him. Then a man stands up with a spanner in his hand. He has been working on that box where Clive was lost. He swings a hammer down on a big button. Then a bell travelled up a slide and hit a ball travelled up a slide and hit a bell. The man running that stall looked very happy and shook the man's hand. That's his father at the Test Your Strength box. He is the man with the tool in his hand. Understand? Yes, sir. That rather big man who has just mended that man's machine thing is the teddy boy's father, said Timmy. And he takes over from his son at 6 o'clock, said Snubs. Well done. This is what I want you to do. The 2 squirrels listened carefully to Mighty Oak's instructions. So that's it. Don't forget, if the mice ask, it's fine for you to tell them that you're doing a mission for me. They each picked up a newspaper and said goodbye to Mighty Oak. The 2 squirrels set off. They had to be careful that no one saw them. They decided they would run the whole of the park, sticking to the fence. It was longer that way, but at least no one would see them. It was a bit harder than they thought. The newspapers were quite big, and now and then they would trip over the paper. They stopped to catch their breath. We must be careful. We must not rip the papers, said Timmy. They decided it would be easier to carry them in their mouths. Snubs went first and placed the paper between his teeth. He did a few steps, turned around and put both thumbs up to Timmy. This was much easier, thought Timmy, as he ran to his friend. He did not trip once. They had to be careful by the double gates, as Mr. Perkins' shed was next to gates, and they did not want to be spotted. Oh, we don't know the time, said Timmy. Wait, said Snubs. There's a clock on the pavilion. You're right, said Timmy. It did make their journey a little longer, but they did have to know the time. They got to the edge of the cricket pitch. Right, said Snubs. Can you see the clock, Timmy? Yes, said Timmy. Can you see it, Snubs? Yes. Well, what? What's the time, Snubs? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I can't tell the time, Timmy. But you said the clock's on the pavilion. Well, it is, Timmy. That doesn't mean I can tell you the time. Anyway, when you agreed, I thought you knew how to tell the time. The two friends started to argue. A fox popped his head from behind a tree. What's all the noise about? The squirrels tell the fox their plight. He explained the short hand is the hour hand. The longer hand is... Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, Fox, but can you just please tell us the time? We're in such a hurry. All right, the time is 5:30. Gosh, we've only half an hour. Thank you, Fox. They picked up their newspapers and ran to the fair. They get to the entrance where a man was sat at a table selling the entrance tickets. The two squirrels ran under his table, which had a cover over it. They dropped the papers and then peeked out from under the covering. There's Patch, said Timmy. I'll call him over. Patch? Patch? We can't hear me over all that noise. Snubs said, let me have a go. Timmy said, let me have a go. He poked his head out, put his paws up to his mouth and whistled as loud as he could. That worked. Patch dropped his huge lolly he was eating and turned around. He started to run over and then stopped and went back for his lolly he was eating. Hello, Timmy, Snubs. What are you two up to then? Timmy looked at the huge rat. He often wondered how he got that bald patch on his back. However, it was not the right time to ask. We're doing a mission for Mighty Oak and we need mice, lots of mice. Can you help? Timmy, my boy, if you're doing something for Mighty Oak, of course I can help. Does it matter what mice? Wood mice, house mice? That doesn't matter, but can you get them together as soon as possible, please? Oh, and can you meet us in 10 minutes at the bumper cars? Yes, I'll try my best, said Patch. He ran off, still carrying his huge sticky lolly. The two squirrels picked up their newspapers, looked at each other and nodded. They were off. They were running so fast they had to dodge all the human feet. It was very scary. One man trod on poor Snubs' tail, which hurt so much. He screamed and dropped his newspaper. He was about to pick it up when someone beat him to it. Oh no, what was he going to do? It was a huge rat. It had a patch on his back. Oh, thank goodness it's Patch. The squirrel ran after him. At last the three friends reached the bumper cars. Thank you for that, said Snubs. Are you all right, fella? When I saw that man tread on your tail, I thought I'd better get your paper before anyone else. The mice should be on their way, boys. We're here already, Patch. They were hiding under the bumper car ride. There, hiding under the bumper car ride, was about 100 mice. We have to get in that box before 6, but we need that man out of it. I see what the mice are for. Clever tree. Very clever. That man over there, look, way over there by the food stand, that's his dad. Snubs said, we know. Right, he does the exact same thing every night. He will buy some snacks and come straight here. You boys better hurry up. I'll tell the mice when you're ready. Timmy and Snubs picked up their newspapers and ran to the box. They gave Patch the thumbs up. He looked under the ride and said, mice, now. All the mice came out. They ran onto the bumper car ride. They ran everywhere. They ran into the cars with people. There was mayhem everywhere. People running around screaming. Men shouting at the poor boys working on the ride. One of them ran to the box and loudly knocked on the box. Gov, you'll have to come out. There's mice everywhere, mate. Can't you deal with it? Sid, look for yourself. The young teddy boy looked out. Oh, typical. Just before Dad turned up. He looked at the clock. It was 10 to 6. He would have to hurry. Sid left his box to help the young men get rid of the mice. Luckily for Timmy and Snubs, he left the door open. Timmy and Snubs ran into the little room. It smelt horrible. They saw the reason. There was an ashtray full of cigarette ends. The smoke made their eyes sting. Timmy jumped onto the chair and placed his paper on the table. He peeked out of the slit where people paid for tickets. Good, everyone was still running around. He jumped down. Then Snubs placed his newspaper next to Timmy's, making sure it was the right way up. Yes, there was the photograph of Ron White with his workers. Timmy and Snubs shook paws. We've done it. Let's get out of this smelly box. They scampered out and gave Patch a sign. He whistled. The mice ran off the ride and ran off in different directions. It was as if they had never been there. The men all looked at each other. Sid said, "What happened?" Gary said, "I don't know, boss. These mice just came from nowhere, running all over the ride." "Uh-oh, your dad's coming. Your dad's coming, Sid." Sid walked up to the last 4 customers as they were leaving, like the rest of the people. "I'm sorry about that. You can have a free go." "No, thank you," and they walked off. "Sid, what's going on? Why have you left your box? And what are these 3 idiots doing with brooms?" I thought we would just keep it clean, Dad. I was just checking their work." "Right, well, put your brooms away, boys. Time's money. We want customers on the ride. Stop messing about. Sid, your mother's got your dinner ready." "Yes, Dad." Timmy and Snubs were thanking Patch. "You boys want to come along with me? Get you safe out the fair?" "No, thank you. We have to see what happens, don't we, Snubs?" "Yes. We want it to go." Sorry. "You boys want to come along with me? Get you safe out the fair?" "No, thank you. We have to see what happens, don't we, Snubs?" "Yes." "What's the matter, Snubs? Is it your tail?" "No, I'm just scared. I just want it to go well, Timmy. Everyone else has done their jobs. I don't want us to mess it up." "Oh, you've made me nervous now, Snubs. I feel sick." The 2 squirrels find a good hiding place and watch the box. "The man goes into the box. That's a control room," said Snubs. "How do you know that?" "I heard the sun say I'll be in trouble for leaving the control room." The 2 squirrels hold paws. "Oh no, look. The sun was coming back." "I can't look," said Snubs. He covered his eyes. "It's all right, Snubs. He forgot his coat. He got it off the back of the chair. He's gone." "I can't look," said Snubs. "You just tell me, Timmy, please, okay?" "Right, the man is sitting down. He's looking around." "I've changed my mind. I'll have to look. Oh, my poor Timmy." As he was checking the control room, the man tutted at the mess of the room it was in. Then he said, "What's all this rubbish?"